How y'all doing? My name's Chiplin Chebs and welcome back to my good old boy goddamn YouTube channel. Today we're going to learn how to clean the grass out of your lawnmower fanbow blower motor. Make sure you get on in and spank your way deep into that subscribe button. I'd like to one day get a color TV and feed my kids something other than old coffee ground, Japanese beetles grilled over a bonfire that'll more than likely catch countryside on fire. Because I tell you what, I can't go back to prison like in '96 when I drank too much tequila and done wrapped my Chevy around a Coke machine at the CVS. They ain't too good to someone like me in there. Excuse me, I must have had something caught in my throat. Anyway, I'm Kerry West and welcome back to my photography channel. This video is a bit of a sunset shoot into early night. Haven't been shooting too much lately and it kind of bummed me out, so I had to get out there and do some. A lot of these images are just okay. There's definitely a few really good ones. So I hope you enjoy it. Go ahead and put on your favorite meat hat and enjoy the video. Make sure to keep your eyes open for the pug hidden in this video, because the first person who guesses where it is correctly will get a signed ham in the mail from me. Also, if you like how stupid I am, but don't necessarily like photography, or if you just want stupid shit, check out my other YouTube channel that is under just my name. I'll link it in the description. I'll be posting a lot of just really dumb shit over there, just any stupid ideas I have that aren't really photography related. Little warm-up shot here, just sort of playing with bokeh. Also, I want to apologize for the watermark that is in every single photo. I made one and I forgot to turn it off in Lightroom, and after exporting like 80 images, I realized they all had it, but I really didn't want to go back through and do it again, so enjoy the distraction in every single photo. I like to shoot bikes a lot, and usually I shoot like older bikes, but this one with its bright yellow color really looked cool to me. Still kind of in warm-up mode. I wanted to shoot somebody in front of these vines. This photo's pretty pube-tastic though. Really no clear subject here other than the fence, but mainly I was just shooting the way that the light was falling off the rest of the fence as the sun was setting. The way this piss magnet was sitting here in the light was almost calling out to me and to piss. This was the first and only time I whipped out the other camera with the wide lens on it, which is cool because that means I carried around a whole second camera on my chest for 3 hours and I only used it once at the very beginning. I'm not complaining, I'm just stupid. When I think about how fall is basically over here, it kind of bums me out, but then I remember that these trees also look really awesome when they're naked. Shot this Jesus-y one just to kind of blow out the background and make sort of a layered image. I almost switched to the ultra wide for this, but I kind of wanted a little more intimate look with a blurry background. Trying to get this chick in this alley smoking, but it's just such a messy image. There's like cars in the background and light poles, and she kind of blends into the darkness. The second one I got a little bit closer, but as soon as she saw me with the camera, she kind of turned around and went around the corner. People think they're being nice by getting out of the shot, but what they don't realize is that I'm trying to invade their privacy, and they're actually being really rude by leaving the scene as soon as I am about to take it. Another kind of poopy shot. I really like the dog here though, he just looks so soft. Utter trash. Not like Not like cow udders, but like just shitty, not milky. Whacking the clarity up on textures like this really makes them glimmer quite a bit, just like with asphalt and stuff. This is some sort of duck window. Sort of playing with bokeh again here. I didn't even realize until after, but this construction worker with his bright vest ended up in the photo, which I thought made the background a little more interesting. Just trying to get a shot of this sign with the homeless people behind it, but this guy didn't really look particularly homeless. But I love this shot. I love how he's looking off into the distance like that. But pretty balls deep on the edit to make these warm toned poles contrast with everything else. I was hoping to get this guy looking in my direction, but he never really did. Hey, it's a mirror selfie. I actually came over here to try to shoot somebody in this patch of light that was coming through, but these guys over here kind of looked at me like I was a fucking alien or something, so I didn't want to point my camera at them. I ended up with this shot of the tree, which I thought looked pretty cool anyway. Excuse me, do you mind if I take a photo of you? Yeah? You don't mind? Okay. I was fully convinced this guy would tell me to just piss off, but he was actually really cool and let me shoot him. This one's complete trash. There's some cool light coming through, but this guy just kind of blends in too much. Figured I'd fire this one off before turning to the subject I actually wanted to shoot, this guy. But with that last one, he was in shadow, so I came around and shot him where the light was hitting his face. I really wish I would have taken my time a little more in some of these places to get somebody to walk through these spots that just had glorious golden light, but as the light fades, you find yourself just kind of running around trying to find the perfect spot, and you never really end up finding it. I really like this one. It looks like he was riding around in the cold for a while, and then he finally got to a spot with some sunlight, and he was just letting it hit his face. Almost looks like he was falling asleep. I think I caught this one at the right time, and while the foreground's a little bit distracting, I love how it's just her face that's lit up. Again, some of these spots, it's almost like a catch-22. You want to be patient and wait for the right person to walk through or find that perfect spot where the light will hit them just right. But a lot of times when the sun's going down, you just don't have the time. Because by the time somebody comes through, the light's going to be gone anyway. Waited a minute here hoping somebody would come on this side, but I ended up just getting this tiny guy away on the other side of the street. I still kind of like the image, but I think he's just a little too small in it. I looked around and nobody was really coming, so I just sort of moved on. I love taking these really simple photos with just light and shadows, especially on architecture. This one almost looks like I could flip between bending in and bending out. Yes, my creativity knows no bounds. This is art, especially with a leaf trapped under the T. Because at the end of the day, are we not all leaves trapped under T's? I like this shot, and I think it was the perfect time of day for this, where the headlights are on, but there's still enough light to light up the scene other than just the headlights. Though there is probably a few too many cars in this shot for my liking. Expecting her to keep walking forward, but she turned in, and I mean, yeah, I kept the shot anyway because I think it would have been shitty no matter where she walked. It was just not a good shot to begin with. I really loved this golden hour light reflecting off the building and then off the car. I thought it looked really nice. "2020 is probably the only year where this photo might actually work." Denver Capitol always looks pretty good in golden hour. I'm really glad I stumbled back over to this like art museum or whatever it is over here, because the architecture over here is just insane, and I haven't been here for months, but I'm really glad I came back, and especially right at sunset. This fucking rude bitch wouldn't stop staring at me with her cardboard eyes. Just so many good opportunities for these abstract photos with just shape and light. These fucking fences suck. Everything is fucking fenced off. Yeah, if anybody who has been destroying the city they live in is listening to this, can you fucking stop? Because it's pretty fucking lame and old. Thanks. I love this one because it kind of has this chaotic feel to it with all these perpendicular lines, but then just like a nice golden triangle cutting right through the center of it. I love it. When I saw the way the light was coming through here after being reflected off the building, I waited for like a good 5 minutes for somebody to come through. This lady was a bit uninteresting, but her dog was cute as shit and super bouncy. Again, waited here for a few minutes, did a bunch of really long bursts on this old guy right here, and I got some that were just perfectly lighting up his face. Again, sat here for a few minutes trying to line somebody up with these arches because they were all just so symmetrical. Unfortunately, by the time anybody was close enough to see any detail of them, they were pretty much covering the background, but I still really like these shots. A lot of older folks in this video, especially older couples. They just seem to be out all over because this was like the day after Thanksgiving, so I'm guessing a lot of people were visiting. These next 4 shots were some of my absolute favorites. I love heavy bokeh with a really thin depth of field. It just really isolates the subject, and this Lumix 35-100, which is like a 70-200 full frame equivalent, it's got beautiful, perfectly round bokeh balls. And then of course, being close to Christmas time, as it gets darker, you have the opportunity for all sorts of interesting shots. I've been waiting all year for this type of opportunity. Waited here for a second for somebody to come. It was another couple. I think they were framed nicely between the words on the wall behind them, and then of course the leading lines with the sidewalk. Made for a pretty cool shot, I think. This is just some stickers on this post. A little more architecture. This would have been a lot cleaner without the power lines running through it. But short of removing them in Photoshop, that was about the cleanest I could get. But it almost looks like this piece of metal was like added in post. It's really cool. This is a little closer to what I was trying, though I kind of wish he was closer to the wall, but it almost looks like he's reaching for the light. I really like it. I love this old phone booth, but this shot is just horrific. It's really unbalanced. It looks like dog shit, but like unbalanced dog shit. This one's a little better. I really like how the light is hitting only the top of the phone booth and then kind of falling off towards the bottom. No. The only people that are on the side of buses are nerds. I like how I lined this up. My only problem with it is that I shot it underexposed in order to keep the detail in the moon. I mean, I could have just duplicated it, brought the highlights down in one, and then re-layered them together, but I don't know, I just didn't feel like doing all that work for just an okay shot. This is probably my favorite one. It's another old couple. I used the Christmas lights here to create a ton of depth in the shot. I don't know, it feels like it could be on the cover of a holiday magazine issue or something. This huge line of people waiting to get into this Christmas market or whatever normal people do with their time during a pandemic. There was just this one gap in front of this girl, so I kind of framed it so it almost looked like she was standing alone. And her staring at her phone and with her stance, it just looked really cool, I thought. What kind of idiot walks around in the city taking photos? It's just a fucking weird thing to do, so I had to capture it. I was originally going to try to include the sky in this one because they were both looking in the direction of the sunset, but I kind of like the way this turned out with the light kind of lighting up the girl on the left's hair. I thought it was interesting. Usually when somebody sees you taking a photo, they'll either look away, they'll smile, or they'll look angry, but this lady just had a completely dead look on her face and didn't blink at all. It's kind of interesting. Not really sure why I went black and white with this one. I think it just kind of adds to the grittiness of like winter and this guy who's possibly homeless just getting bothered by cops. This is the last photo, and while I kind of like these muted tones, it still sucks. It's just a shitty, boring photo with nothing interesting going on. Well, that's the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you subscribe. If not, I might call you at 3 a.m. drunk and crying, asking why you don't love me and you won't give me your continued viewership. So hopefully I'll see you in the next one.